your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, you can see our weather camera bouncing around a little bit. That's the Roofing Dog on it. Flooring American camera in the capital city of Springfield, where we've got rain moving in as we speak. We zoom in. You can see those showers from Auburn to Springfield up to the Petersburg area. This is going to fill in for the rest of us as this wave moves through. We're expecting a very soggy night ahead and into early tomorrow morning as well. Mainly just a moderate, kind of steady rainfall and a cool one at that, with temperatures that are hovering in the upper 40s and near 50 degrees. So we're dry here in Champaign right now, but that changes, I think, by 9 o'clock tonight as the rain gets here. But it's tomorrow afternoon. We could see thunderstorms, maybe some severe weather. We'll talk about that when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Winter is almost here. How COVID-19 will impact how your streets and sidewalks are cleared of snow. Plus, they serve this country to make sure we are safe. Where veterans didn't get the same treatment, and now lawmakers are investigating.
Fire destroyed a garage, shed, and truck parked outside, while the people who live there are thankful tonight.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
There may be times where we have a reduced number of people,
Which could mean waiting longer for roads to be cleared. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. We haven't had our first snow, but it is coming. And when it does, you may need extra patience for plow drivers. That's because, just like at other jobs, they may have to be isolated or quarantined, and that would leave them short-staffed. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live outside an IDOT maintenance facility. So, Courtney, how much longer could people be waiting?
Well, Jennifer, at this point, it's too soon to say because it will depend on when that first snow comes and how many people are either isolating or quarantining at that time who are affiliated with IDOT or other plow driving entities. Now, it could mean, though, that you're waiting up to hours more or even days before drivers get to your streets.
our crews are working on making sure all their plows are on, all our spreader boxes are on.
Winter isn't here yet, but it's not far away, and we all know what comes along with it. That's why IDOT plow drivers have been gearing up.
We will do everything that we can to make sure we have all of our trucks out and all of our people out.
But like just about everything else, even snow plowing could be affected by COVID-19.
We're cognizant and recognize the fact that there may be times where we have a reduced number of people, right? Instead of having 24 people out, we may have 20 out. And what that means for the traveling public, basically, is our trucks will have to have longer cycle times.
The city of Champaign is facing the same issue. The city's code actually limits the amount of time drivers have to finish plowing.
Our goal, which is outlined in the policy, is to have primary routes cleared to near bare pavement within 12 hours post, once the snow stops falling.
But with some out to quarantine or isolate, it could take longer. That's why they recently chose to waive those limits.
It could appear that it's taking longer, and so someone might think, well, usually they have this all cleaned up by now, and instead there might be still some snow on those.
So it's even more crucial than ever before to think twice before leaving home.
People should generally be staying home anyway, and people generally do, and that becomes even more important in snow events, right? Do you really need to make that trip?
And that time limit that Chris Kester with Champaign Public Works mentioned doesn't provide a new amount of time that they have to finish. It just waives that amount of time completely. So they basically have an unlimited amount of time to complete the roadways. Live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thank you so much. Now, Courtney mentioned drivers won't have time limits, but that's for how long it'll take them to finish clearing roads. It doesn't apply to how long their shifts can last. Drivers usually go for about 12 hours, but they can only be on the road for up to 15. The State Inspector General is launching an investigation into the LaSalle Veterans Home in north central Illinois. The long-term care facility is ground zero for a COVID outbreak that led to 187 cases and 24 deaths. The Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs also held a hearing today to dig into how it happened. One senator wondering why more wasn't done sooner.
that I feel like our state has potentially failed them. And we, I wish that we had gotten, had been a little bit more proactive on the front side. I think there's going to be some other questions about what might have been able to be done.
Long-term care facilities in Illinois are getting slammed by the virus. There have been more than 43,000 confirmed cases and more than 5,700 deaths in them since the start of the pandemic.
Another person in Champaign County with COVID has died. He was in his 90s. 125 people died across Illinois in the last 24 hours. More than 11,600 people have died in the state since this pandemic began. Now, since the state's last update, another 9,500 new infections have been diagnosed. There are now more than 674,000 total cases since March. The state's 7-day positivity rate is now at 12.4%. As of last night, there were more than 6,100 people in the hospital, 1,200 in the ICU, with more than 660 getting help breathing from a ventilator. Let's go across the border now. In Indiana, hospitals are being overwhelmed by COVID-19 patients. More than 3,200 were being treated as of Sunday. It's up nearly 50% in the last 2 weeks, and more than 300% increase since late September.
This is an update for you. A man charged in a deadly hit and run was in court today. Robert O'Malley was arrested after turning himself in about a month ago. He's charged with leaving an accident that resulted in someone's death. He hit William Shue, who was riding his bike at the time. Shue later died in the hospital. O'Malley was supposed to start his preliminary hearing today, but he waived his right to it. Instead, his pretrial was scheduled for late January. And we have a follow-up on a fire from yesterday. The homeowners are trying to assess everything that was lost, and there's a lot. Crews were called to Dunlap Woods North and Wilsey Lane in Sydney. WCIA 3's Jared Farmer went to the scene of the fire today. So, Jared, what are firefighters today saying happened?
Well, Jennifer, firefighters are still investigating for what actually set the fires off, but they do know for sure that it started in the detached garage. It was a frightening situation as crews got to the scene of this fire in Sydney. A detached garage was up in flames, and they were starting to creep toward the house.
A lot of their belongings are either smoke damaged or destroyed, and so this time of year, it's never a good time. This time's even worse.
The owner told his next-door neighbor, Megan Savage, that he was working in the garage about an hour before the fire. They moved into their home in April, and everything they had stored in the garage was destroyed, as well as a pickup truck. The fire just managed to touch the side of the neighbor's house. They say they came outside when they heard a loud pop.
The flames were already huge. The smoke was super thick, super black, super high in the sky. I mean, I could tell it was coming, like leaning this way.
As devastating as the damage is, she's just glad the owner and his wife made it out safe. In Sydney, I'm Jared Farmer, WCIA 3, your local news leader. Now, the owners say that they've started an online fundraiser so that they can start replacing the things that were lost. We'll have a link for those on our website. Jennifer?
Such a tough time of year for something like this to happen at the holidays. All right, Jared, thank you.
Springfield finished a project that's been years in the making. A stretch of Archer Elevator Road was made wider and repaved, and the hope is it'll alleviate traffic and make the streets safer. First part of the project was completed in 2017. The city also added a sidewalk.
But when I became mayor, this road project would be a top priority for me. Now, 6 years later, we have finally reached that point of accomplishment. Abraham Lincoln said, "Commitment is what transforms a promise into a reality."
That entire project cost over $4 million.
It's one of the most anticipated basketball seasons in Illini history. What Ayo Dosunmu has done to improve his game as the season gets set to tip off.
Also tonight,
hunger should not be a problem.
Especially during Thanksgiving, which group is trying to make sure it stays that way. And Kevin, you're talking about it. Rain is moving in. Seems to be moving in pretty quickly into our viewing area.
It is. Springfield, they've got rain right now. It's showing up out there. Let's get your quick recap of today, where the high only made it to 48 degrees. The low is only 44. Not a whole lot of fluctuation in the temperature there. When we come back, we're going to talk about the rain, the potential for strong storms, and the rest of your Thanksgiving forecast when we come back.